Last night, I was on Twitter in search of translation threads for the current Knights event, but instead, I found people pointing out imagery in the Mystic Fragrant music video, and I thought it would be fun to compile all of it in this video. When using things other people pointed out, I will of course credit them on screen, and you will be able to find the link to their tweets in the description. There are also some things that I noticed myself, so without further ado, here are, hopefully most, of the Swan Lake imagery and references in Mystic Fragrance. If you are unaware of the story of Swan Lake, I will leave a link to a good synopsis in the description, but the basic information you need to know is that there is a swan queen, Odette, who turns into a beautiful human at night, and our resident fairy tale prince falls in love with her cause plot. The prince wants to marry her, but the only way for Odette's curse to be broken is if someone genuinely proclaims their love for her. Luckily, thanks to plot, the prince loves her, so of course he agrees. But oh no! Evil sorcerer man gets in the way, and lots of dancing ensues, cause this is a ballet. Duh. At some point, Magic Man does a switcheroo and makes his daughter, Odile, look like Odette, so the prince proposes to Odile instead. But then, the prince sees the real Odette and goes to her, but the sorcerer says that the prince has to marry his daughter because they're engaged. Grrr. But the prince says, bump that, and he and Odette throw themselves into the lake. And some other people that I forgot to mention, but I feel too awkward to sandwich them in now, push Odile and her father into the water, and they die too. Okay, that was longer than I wanted it to be, but yeah, that's the gist of it. More details in the synopsis link below, but I know you don't like to read. First, the lyrics. I will be using the translations by this human, but the official lyrics have not been released yet, so there may be some mistakes here and there. But the things I want to point out feel pretty straightforward. I first noticed this after seeing this tweet, but after looking into the lyrics myself, I found some other things that are also interesting. Around 33 seconds in, they sing the lyric behind pure feelings, which could be referencing the love needed to break the swan curse. And 41 seconds in, they sing about beautiful wings before the moon shines, which is referencing the swan's wings going away at night because she turns into a human. In the first chorus, they sing about a pure dress, and in the next line sing, wanna be Odette. In contrast, the second time they sing the chorus, they sing about a black dress and wanting to be Odile. In a lot of Swan Lake productions, Odette and Odile are played by the same person, and the main way you tell them apart is by their dress. Odette wearing a white one, and you guessed it, Odile wearing a black one. Oh yeah, they also sing Eau de Toi a couple of times. Ballet commonly uses French terms, so yeah, Izumi's having a field day. This user on Twitter pointed out the similarity between this scene and this photo from Swan Lake. I don't know which production it's from, so you're gonna have to ask them. With this in mind, it would be safe to assume that Naru is Odette in this case. There is also a statue behind them, so it looks like Naru has wings, furthering the comparison. The synopsis I linked below also talks about the themes of Swan Lake, and it mentions that Odette feels uncomfortable in her human form, and while she feels graceful in her swan form, she also feels secluded. This can relate to how Naru feels uncomfortable, where publicly, a lot of her jobs make her act like a prince. Of course she's willing to do it because it benefits knights, but she wants to be able to be the princess too. In double exclamation point, she's been getting feminine and masculine jobs, and says that Knights fans are accepting of her as she is. I'm not totally sure if she's completely out to the public yet. I assume not, or maybe people just don't take her completely seriously, like we've unfortunately seen many characters do. But when she's in more private settings or surrounded by friends, she definitely doesn't hold herself back, which could be why they chose Swan Lake as the main inspiration. Night and day, two sides of the same coin. Odette is the same person despite being a bird sometimes, and while the public may favor Naru's princely side, which I'm pretty sure is more of an act, she's still Arashi Narukami. This isn't necessarily an observation about the music video symbolism, but you can definitely tell that Naru is in her element here. Listen, this isn't Naru slander, but in some of Knight's previous music videos, she looks kinda stiff. And I always attributed that to her being so tall. I'm tall as well, so I know that if I don't pay attention, I look like a giant brick wall. But seeing her effortless movements just showed me that she's having the time of her life here. The outfit, the lyrics, the choreo, everything. It's just beautiful, and she gets to do it surrounded by people she loves and people who love her. It honestly reminds me of Himaru in the recent Crazy Bee event. A lot of fans make fun of him and say he can't dance, but he really busted a move for his brother's song, and that warms my heart. I'm very interested to see what the event story is actually about, and I hope we actually get some more Naru backstory in it. But I will patiently wait for the translators to work their magic. Also, quick PSA, don't be rude to translators. A lot of them do this for free and they have lives outside of the Enstars Wiki and Twitter. Whether it takes a few days, weeks, months, or even years, they don't have to do this at all, but they do. They're humans as well, so please be respectful. There is also an amazing Twitter thread about imagery in reference to Naru's friend that she lost. It would be a disservice for me to summarize it here, so I'll just leave a link. Content warning, it mentions suicide. You don't need a Twitter to view it, but if you have a Twitter and you like the thread, you should leave a like on it. Support big-brained humans. And that goes for all the humans mentioned in this video. I know this isn't my usual content, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. Bye bye!
Adios, amigo!